Israelites who left Egypt with Moses arrived at Mount Sinai about a year later. Here, God delivered the word of promise and law in the 10 Commandments carved on 2 stone plates to Moses and the Israelites. The 10 Commandments states commands like, "You shall have no other gods before me, you shall not make yourself any idol, nor bow down to it or worship it. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God. Remember and keep the Sabbath day holy. Respect your mother and father. You must not commit murder, steal, or give false evidence against your neighbor," and etc. God spoke to the people of Israel, "I will punish the guilt of the fathers on the sons until the 3rd and 4th generations of those who hate me. But I will show love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments." Those who hate God are those who do not keep His commandments, while those who love God are people who keep them. The lives of the Israelites began with these words of God's law. Now all they had to do was just abide by the law and enter God's promised land of Canaan. Unfortunately, however, the people of Israel were filled with complaints and resentment, saying they will reject Canaan and return to Egypt. And they complained a lot. But what's amazing is that these people who complained and resented so much did abide by God's commands and ended up in Canaan. The words in Deuteronomy which we read today were Moses' last sermon and was kind of like his will. Moses didn't tell the Israelites a new story, but rather summarized what he'd been telling them all along through the years. He summarized everything through God's commands, or the 10 Commandments. He told them once again, one by one. While the 10 Commandments are recorded twice in the Bible, Moses must have told the Israelites countless times, telling them that the promise with God is not something irrelevant to them which concerns their forefathers only, but is a new covenant made with them in their time. And so by repeatedly listening to the 10 Commandments and God's laws or commands, the Israelites were able to remember the word and eventually follow His words and live by them. And then, in the end, enter the promised land of Canaan. Friends, this is why we listen to God's words when we worship Him every Sunday, and why we should try to read the whole Bible through at least once during the year. Like the people of Israel, we also always complain, resent, and do not like to obey God. But if we repeatedly listen to God's words and try to understand God's will, we'll realize that His words are promises made not only with the Israelites in the past, but also with us today. I hope that this new year, we continue to repeatedly listen to the words of God's promises and be filled with the grace and love that God gives us through those words.